Hello families, welcome to my YouTube channel again. So in today's tutorial I'll be showing you how to draft a double-breasted blazer gown. So first off, I marked my line at the top as so, because that's where we'll be taking all our measurements from. And then I went down with my armhole measurement, which is 8, and then my chest measurement, which is 10, my half length, which is 16. Then I went with my hip measurement, because this is a gown, right? I went with my hip measurement, which is 25. Then I repeat the same measurement at the other side, so that will enable me to have a straight line when I want to draw my line across. So guys, afterwards I just go in with my marker and then draw the line across, as you can see. So guys, if you have watched up to this point, please, I would like to remind you to subscribe to my YouTube channel so you get notification whenever I drop new tutorials. Also like and comment. So after that, I went with my shoulder measurement, which is 7.5. I also measured that 7.5 at the armhole measurement, because I'll be drawing a straight line, so I want my line to be straight. After that, I went with my neck measurement, which is 3 inches, and then I also marked the depth of my neck, which is 1.5. So guys, for this tutorial, for this pattern, we'll be starting with the back. We'll be cutting the back first before we cut the front. So I took my ruler to my armhole, and then I draw a straight line across, as you can see. I also curved out my neck line. After that, from my shoulder tip, I went down by 1/2 inch. You can go down by 1 inch if you want. So that 1/2 inch is for our shoulder slope. So I will just mark out the shoulder slope like that, as you can see. Then from my shoulder slope, that 1/2 inch I came down with to my armhole length, to my armhole, I would divide what I have there into 2, mark it, and then come inwards by 1/2 inch, and I'll use my curve ruler to curve it as so. Guys, when you're using your curve ruler, please make sure that the bottom of your curve is sitting on the line of your armhole, and then you curve it. You just draw out the curve, as you can see me do. Afterwards, guys, I went with my nipple to nipple measurements. I started from my chest line, and my nipple to nipple measurement is 4.5, which is 9. So I marked my nipple to nipple measurement on my waistline, on my hip line, and then on my full length. That is the darts. We are trying to get the darts now. So I would draw the lines across to meet each other, as you can see me do. So afterwards, guys, from my waistline, I went inwards. I went on both sides. I took my measurement 1 inch on both sides. I took 1 inch on both sides. And then from my chest measurement, I went up by 1 inch, and then I draw the line. I just draw a straight line to meet with the other line, just as you can see me do. From that 1 inch I went up with, I just connected it back to the main line. Then after that, we'll connect the points. As you can see, you just connect from your chest line down to your waist, connect it on both sides, and then we are going to do the same thing for the down. So you are going to connect from your waistline down to your hip, not to your full length, down to your hip, as you can see me do. Yes. So afterwards, guys, this is our dart for our back pattern. So I want to extend my dart to my shoulder. It is optional if you don't want it, but I want to extend my dart to my shoulder. So I divided what I have on my shoulder by 2 and then mark a point there, and then I just connect all the way back to the dart. So because this dress is a sleeveless, it doesn't have hand, it's a sleeveless, so I minus ½ inch from the tip of my shoulder. I minus half inch inwards from the tip of my shoulder, and then I connect it back as so to get our new armhole curve. This is me just labeling the lines so you would understand me better. So after that, guys, from my chest measurements, I divided what I have, my bust measurements, into 4, mark it, and whatever I have at that dart, I marked it, and then I added my 1½ inch of sewing allowance. I went to my waistline, I measured what I have there, and what I took out from the dart, what I have on the dart side, I measured it, I placed it there, and then I added my 1½ inch allowance. Did the same thing for my hip again. I measured my hip measurements into 4, mark it, and then add my 1½ inch sewing of allowance. So what I have on my hip measurements, I just take it straight down to my full length of the dress, and I am going to connect all the points I have, as you can see me do. So I'm using my pen and my free hand to draw this curve. Then I use my marker to outline it so that you can see what I am doing clearly. So guys, this is basically everything for the back panel, but I want the back of my waist to be snatched a bit. So from my waistline, I just go in by 1 inch, and then I just connect it to the top part, as you can see me do, and also connect it to the bottom part down to my hip, and then I'm using my marker to outline the lines so it will be visible for you to see. So guys, this is basically everything for the back panel, and then you just cut it out. You cut it out, as you can see. Just cut everything. That's all for that. So now we are at the front panel. So for this front piece, guys, we leave about 6 inches upward and then 4 inches by the side. So from where my upline is, that's where we'll be starting all our measurements. So I went down. It's just the same thing that you did on your back piece. That's what you still do on this front piece. Just that you leave 6 inches of allowance upward and then 4 inches of allowance by this side, because that is where we are going to. That is where we are going to create our lapel and our collar. So you mark the same thing. Everything you did at the back is the same thing you would do at the front panel. So this is me drawing out my line across, as you can see me do. So I went to my shoulder measurement, which was 7½ inches. I marked it as so, and then I marked my neck measurement, which was 3 inches. Then I came down by ½ inch for my shoulder slope, and then I marked the same 7½ on the other side because I want to draw a straight line, just the way we did at the back. And you can see this is me drawing out the straight line. And then for my shoulder slope, I just measured what I have and then mark it and use my curve ruler. Exactly what we did at the back is what we are doing at the front right now. So this is me curving out my neck line. But I made a mistake here. I realized my neck was too small. I did not mark it from the actual line. So this is me correcting it. So the first line was a mistake, and I've drawn the correct line now. So we're going with our nipple to nipple measurements, just the way we did at the back, and then we'll draw a straight line across, as you can see me do. Guys, I'm not doing anything different here. The same measurements we took at the back is the same thing we are doing at the front. Do you understand, guys? So afterwards, I go in for my waist measurement. I went in on both sides 1 inch on both sides, and then from my chest line I came up by 1 inch, just the way we did at the back, and then I connect the lines as so. After that, we just connect all the points together, just exactly the same way we did at the back. So this is me connecting everything, connecting all the points together. After that, guys, we would go in with our measurements. So my bust measurement is 10.5. I mark it, and then I will mark whatever I have on my darts and replace it, then add my 1.5 inch of allowance. I'll repeat the same thing on my waist, mark whatever I have on my darts, replace it, add my 1.5 inch allowance. I did the same thing on my hip, and then what I have on my hip, I took it down to my full length, and then we'll just connect each point as so. So this is me just drawing out the lines to meet where I marked. You understand, guys? Then I will just connect it. I labeled the part so that you guys will understand what I am doing better. This is me connecting from my armhole to my waist and to my hip, and then to my full length. So guys, that is all. Now we want to take our lapel and collar measurement. Before that, I divided my shoulder measurement into 2 and then connect it as so, because our dart is going to be extending to the shoulder. After that, from the tip of my shoulder, I went inwards by 1/2 inch. Remember, I told you that this pattern, this outfit is a sleeveless, so that is why we are taking that 1/2 inch. So now I'm connecting. I marked my under bust because that is where the break is going to start from. That is where our collar is going to meet each other. So I marked my under bust measurement, which is 13 inches, and then from my under bust I just extend the line outward by 4 inches. Remember, I told you guys that we'll leave 4 inches. So that is what I just did. So guys, from our neck measurement, I minused 1/2 inch from my neck measurement, so that will enable the collar to relax well. 1/2 inch from the neck measurement, and then I connect it all the way to the break point. I hope you guys understand. And then from my round neck, I measured 3 inches for my round neck because that would be our collar, and then I connect it as so. I just draw a straight line like that and connect it, then connect it down to the break point. You can use the straight, but you can use the straight ruler, but me, I wanted my lapel to be a bit curved. So guys, you will bring your back pattern and measure what you have on your neck. Whatever you have on your neck, you add 1/2 inch to it because of sewing allowance, and then you just mark it slantly, as you can see me do, slantly. Then from the point up there, you will mark 4 inches because that's the wideness. That's how wide I want my collar to be. Then I went down for the notch collar. I just, from my collar, I just went in by 1/2 inch, and then I slant it upward by 1.5, and then I just connect it all the way up, just as you can see me do. So guys, this is me folding the collar, folding the lapel, so you will understand that okay, the collar is going to be folded the other way. So at this point, I just remembered I've not drawn my shoulder slope, so I just connected my shoulder slope, and this is me cutting out the collar. So for this, you have to cut out the collar, not the lapel, guys. Cut out only the collar, and then you cut out your pattern, just as so. So guys, another thing is you have to notch your pattern so you will know where to connect, where you know when you are sewing, you know where to place your collar on your pattern. Just as you can see me do. So I just notch the joining parts. Since I've cut it out already, I just notch it so that when I want to sew, and or when I take it on my fabric, I will understand that okay, this part is the joining part. So this is me cutting it out as so. And guys, that is all for this tutorial. I'll be dropping another video showing you guys how I made the dress. Bye guys, thanks for watching.